The FBI is investigating the possibility that a Capitol rioter stole House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's laptop from her office to allegedly sell to Russia. So this was an accusation made by a tipster, someone who allegedly was romantically involved with a woman who was there. The woman's name is Riley June Williams, and she has turned herself into the authorities after this story broke. Initially, there was some indication that she planned to flee, but she did eventually turn herself in. Now, let's hear a little bit about what these allegations are. And let me just note, I mean, come on, girl, like you're 22 years old. What are you doing? What are you doing? Like, just go live your life. What is this nonsense? Anyway, so first off, let me just note, there's no hard evidence right now that Pelosi's laptop was stolen. However, Drew Hammill, who's one of Pelosi's closest staffers, tweeted 2 days after the attack that there was a laptop stolen that was used for presentations that was in a conference room. The FBI says in the court record, the matter remains under investigation. It's not known if the two incidents are connected at all, or even if the tipster's information about the stolen laptop is accurate. Now, where does Russia come into play? Well, a person who said that they're familiar with her, with Williams, a former romantic partner of hers, identified Williams to the FBI in video inside the Capitol building and directing people. In the video, she's directing people to go upstairs to Pelosi's office. So we have that video we'll show you in just a minute. The tipster also claimed to have spoken to friends of Williams who showed the tipster a video of Williams taking a laptop computer or hard drive from Speaker Pelosi's office. And this is according to the FBI's affidavit. The tipster stated that Williams intended to send the computer device to a friend in Russia who then planned to sell the device to SVR, or Russia's Foreign Intelligence Service. So I wanted to show you some of those videos right now to kind of give you a sense of what everyone's talking about. Here is a video of Riley June Williams fleeing the Capitol.
Dennis, step aside now.
Okay, so I might show that video again just to give the audience a warning of what to look for. But there's a woman that you can see kind of like standing on top of something, and she's kind of taking some steps down, and that's the woman that we're talking about here. She's wearing the brown jacket with the zebra print tote bag. So there she is, video showing that she was certainly there. And then there's one other video that I want to go to that shows her essentially directing other rioters of where to go. And she's directing them to go to Speaker Pelosi's office. Let's take a quick look at that.
I spotted a woman in a green shirt. Disciplined, focused, with a sense of urgency. Directing people up a staircase.
So again, this is under investigation. The tipster says that the deal with Russia fell through, and that Williams still has possession of the laptop unless she's destroyed it. And I gotta be honest with you, Ryan, this story is really strange to me. Like, there's something about it that I can't really put my finger on it, but I just have this gut feeling that there's something off about this story. I don't know, I wanted to get your thoughts on it.
It feels kind of Coen Brothers-esque. I've actually, known Drew Hammill a very long time. I started covering Congress in 2005, and he was with Pelosi then. So he's been there for a very long time. So what he's saying is that this was a laptop that people use for presentation, like you leave it on the table so that you can plug your card in, so that you can do your PowerPoint up against the wall. And by going up the stairs there, that is, if I'm seeing the video right, that's not kind of Pelosi's, that wouldn't be where Pelosi would be keeping a laptop that had like top secret information on it, if Pelosi even has something like that, which I kind of doubt, because that might be how a lot of normal professional people operate, but that's not exactly how the Speaker of the House operates. She's some other people handle, top, classified and top secret information for her, and they present it to her, and she makes decisions based on what she sees. It's not that they're emailing it to her on her encrypted speaker.pelosi@mail.house.gov account, and she's uploading it and reviewing it like that. That's just not how this works now. And so if it did work that way, you can guarantee that the multi-$100 billion NSA would make sure that the speaker had a laptop that nobody's going to be able to, crack into. The NSA can barely crack into an iPhone that they pick up off of a suspect on the street from any regular suspect. So even if she did get away with some laptop that had top secret information on it, which I think is virtually impossible, particularly given the room that she was going to. That's kind of just more of a conference room area. If she's going up onto the third floor of the Capitol, or bigger offices on the second floor. But all we know is from that video that she's saying move up the stairs, with the person saying methodical, but is it methodical, or is she just annoyed that people aren't moving a little bit more quickly? And then she kind of grabs something and sneaks out, and then she lives in New York, and there's lots of Russians in New York, and it's like, hey, if I'm gonna sell this, I can't sell it here. Brooklyn and Queens are filled with Russians who know people in Russia. So I guess if you've gone through all of that, that would be your next move. But there are easier ways to make money.
Yeah, the whole story seems pretty strange. I mean, the fact that she was in the building has led to some charges. However, she has not been charged in connection to stealing a laptop or trying to sell it to a foreign government. So far, she's charged with violent entry and disorderly conduct, which clearly we have evidence of. But I want to be clear, we do not have evidence of what has been alleged regarding her stealing a laptop and intending to sell it to Russian intelligence. I just think, this. Okay, so someone who says they were romantically involved with her and no longer are, that person made this allegation. It's just, I just wish like the Russia angle, because I think that there is like serious concerns regarding Russia, right? But it's become like cartoonish now. Like even Hillary Clinton mentioned Russia in a recent podcast. Like, yes. Please stop talking about Russia, because it immediately makes people kind of brush off the seriousness of what's going on, because the way Russia was talked about, it was just embellished, it was exaggerated. It was like the main narrative for the first 2 years of Trump's administration, and it led to nothing. And that's not to say that there's no evidence that Trump might have engaged in some shady financial deals with Russia, something that I wish was more of a focus during the investigation. But I just think like the focus of that investigation, along with the media theatrics that came along with it, make people incredibly skeptical of any news story that tries to draw like a connection to Russia, especially when it comes to like riots and Trump related news.
Yes, on Hillary's podcast, which is amazing that she has a podcast. And the audio is not great. It's like, come on, Hillary, you could do better. You could do better than this. And so she's interviewing Nancy Pelosi, coincidentally, and she says, "What I would really like to know is, did Trump call Putin while the insurgents were storming the Capitol?" It's like, what? Like, why? Why would you want to know that? Like, why would you even think that was even remotely possible? Because like normally with these Russia conspiracy theories, there's no evidence for them, but there's some internal logic to them. Like, okay, Russia has a PP tape of Donald Trump, and so therefore Donald Trump is being blackmailed by Putin, and that's why Donald Trump is doing all the things that he's doing. Like, there's no evidence that for those different things. but it has an internal logic. I get it. Even with this young woman stealing a laptop and selling it to Russia. Yeah, well, if you're going to sell if you're just trying to make money selling something that you stole from an American Speaker of the House, sure. If you know Russians, then maybe that's somebody who would buy it. Like at least there's some internal logic to that. But what on earth would Trump be calling Putin about with people storming the Capitol? Does Putin have some sway with these people who are storming the Capitol? And maybe it. I obviously I know that like Hillary Clinton's brain was broken. She was 5 seconds from being president, and instead she lost to Donald Trump. I understand that that's broken her brain terminally. And so everything flows from that, but it also kind of allows her to not look into the Medusa's face of right-wing white supremacy here in the United States. Like you didn't need Vladimir Putin to explain what happened in the Capitol, and maybe it's easier to kind of think about it and absorb it if you can think that this is some foreign interference, when in fact, no, this is as American as apple pie, and it's something that we have to confront as American.
Absolutely. I think that's probably the best point, because it distracts from very real problems that we have in our country. This is us. There's no question. This is us. And Trump didn't need to take marching orders from Putin. Trump is a very self-interested person who has an interest, in some regards, a vested interest in staying in power. And so he didn't need any type of influence from any foreign actor to do what he did in provoking the riots that took place in the Capitol.
Thanks for watching the Young Turks. Really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.